Really did. Yeah, it's very good.
Did you think there were too many twisters and twisters?
No, I didn't. I didn't.
You're so wrong. There were like 8 million twisters.
Well, that's what I expected. It was twisters, plural. Like I expected lots of twisters.
Leo, don't laugh at her. Leo, don't laugh at her. Don't laugh at her.
What'd you expect? A singular twister?
No, but like 4 is enough.
4?
I just 4.
They were only like, what, 10 max?
That's a lot of twisters.
Tornadoes.
A lot of twisters. And twisters.
Oh, I get it.
Here we go. Have a seat. Save your energy. We have an hour.
I said if I was going to do TV, because I was never not going to be myself.
Where are the people who are a little bit different?
You're sitting next to one on the couch. Let's just say that.
Yourself, but not too much of yourself.
Now, here's Jason.
Welcome to the show, everybody. Too many twisters and twisters. Hello. Hi. 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 Thank you. Well, wow. I don't know if it's summer, the weather, our free snow cones. I don't know what it is, but we have had great audiences this week. Thank you very much. Yeah. I appreciate you. Okay, let's get started, everybody, and let's start with this. So, how many golf? Anybody golf in the audience? Clap if you golf. Okay. First and last time I will ever ask that question on the show. Yeah. Anyway, let's act like you golf, okay? Yeah, thank you. How many do crafts? How about that? Yeah. Okay. Now you're just sassing me. Okay. Okay, so let's act like we go golfing. The next time you golf, that's right. Thank you. Okay. The next time you golf, make sure. God, I love you guys. The next time you go golfing, look inside the cup before you grab the ball, okay? Check out what one woman found while reaching for her golf ball in a course in Arizona. A big blank tarantula. That's right. This was in Sedona. Luckily, she spotted that thing before reaching inside. Yeah, that's another reason I don't do sports. That's right, there you go, yeah. Cue the music, Leo. Let's do this. Love this. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Falen. Dramatic pause.
Dramatic. I like it.
Hello, friend.
Hello.
You look very summery today. Look at you.
Aloha.
Aloha. You know, you look very summery.
I pulled up my best summer dress for you.
You do. Look at you. Leo, take the close up there. Look at you. Little, yeah. Yeah, anyway, yeah. That's my little hula dance music.
So
that's
beautiful.
right, yeah. Anyway, how you doing?
I'm great. How are you?
Oh, my God. Okay. We love our spouses, right? And we love our significant others. But thank you. Well, yeah. Photographer Eric, why did you laugh at that? Anyway, yeah. You love your wife. I love your wife. Oh, but audience, don't you love when they leave and you get the house alone? Oh.
Yes. Yes.
Falen. Oh, Falen.
Oh, it's beautiful.
It's such a beautiful thing. I love Colin, and here's where I'll compliment him. Colin, I've told you this before. I'm so darn proud of him. He worked for a big corporation. You've heard of it. Well, I can tell you now that he doesn't work there. I think well, no, I better not, just in case. I don't need to get in trouble today. Anyway, but he worked for, he had a big corporate job. And then Colin stepped away to go out on his own and open his own restaurant and hotel marketing company. And I'm very proud of him. That's scary to do for anybody. Anyway, he went on his first business trip this week. I was Macaulay Culkin last night. I set booby traps for burglars.
Obviously,
I put shaving oil on my face.
Yep.
I did everything, but I told Fallon backstage it was so glorious.
Oh yeah.
I ordered Chipotle. I got a burrito bowl. I sent Milo to my mom's.
Oh, the kids were gone too.
I kept Mr. Big because he was sick, so it was just me.
Okay.
So I'm not kidding. So last night, I wake up at 4, and I usually go to bed around 9:30. I looked at Big at I looked at Big at 7:45, and I went, Biggie, we're going to bed. And I pick him up to put him on the bed, and this is how he's looking at me, like what are you doing, old man? Like, the sun is out, and why are we going to bed?
You're like, don't ask questions.
Don't ask questions.
Yeah.
I put on Real Housewives of New York, and I slept.
Yes.
I slept like a gay rhino. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's great.
It's true. It's so nice when they're gone.
It's so nice when they're gone, but we love them.
Yeah.
Let's get started. It's time for the hot dish. Roll it. Okay, we got good stuff today. First up, call this a superhero save. There's renewed hope for the struggling Marvel, and I can't believe I'm now referring to it as the struggling Marvel movie franchise. But here's the deal. Joe and Anthony Russo, those guys right there, the brothers who directed Avengers Infinity War and Avengers Endgame, could be returning to the Marvel universe. So the rumors, the reports are that the guys are in talks to direct the next 2 Avengers movies. Now, you're wondering, okay, Jason, if I'm not a nerd, why do I care about this? Well, here's the deal. Their previous Avengers movies went on to become 2 of the highest grossing movies ever. Avengers 5 is already scheduled to come out in May 2026, and then the 6th one is opening in 2027. You don't need to be in the nerdiverse like me to know that Disney / Marvel has had problems lately. There is hero fatigue. There's superhero fatigue. We're done with them, but they're kind of coming back. Deadpool is opening up next week. That looks great. Yeah. And these guys are amazing. They were here in our studio, and they know what they're doing.
Yeah.
Endgame is the 2nd biggest movie of all time. I think it's something like 7. They're responsible for $7 billion.
Casual.
Yeah, it's good news.
Do you feel like they can actually save it though?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, if anybody can.
Right.
My secret boyfriend, Bob Iger. Hi, Bob. Let me into Club 33, please. Bob Iger. But Bob Iger, he knows what he's doing. He needs to look. Marvel is such a cash cow for Disney. They need to get the train back on the tracks. It's off. People are sick of it. There's a lot of problems. These 2 can at least get the Avengers back on track.
Okay. Yeah.
Next in the dish, the best of TV. Emmy nominations came out Wednesday. I know you know most of them, but we're going to focus on some things that popped out at us. Shogun and The Bear lead the way. Now, and we want to focus on 2 nominations making news that weren't, okay, we got to talk about that. The first, Carol Burnett. Yeah. Carol Burnett became the oldest woman. I don't like saying that, but it's just true. The oldest woman ever to get an acting nom for her work in the Apple TV Plus show that we loved, Palm Royale. Carol is 91, y'all. 91 and looking great. Kristen Wiig, by the way, Kristen Wiig and the show were also nominated. It's great. And Carol was so, you know how good Carol is? She's so good that she didn't speak for half, she was in a coma for half the season. And she still got an Emmy.
Yeah, that's how good she is.
Did you watch Palm Royale?
I watched the half of it. I haven't finished it.
Okay.
Yeah.
The end is good.
Okay.
It redeems. It wavered in the middle, but then it gets better at the end.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And one actor received his first nomination after hosting a much talked about episode of Saturday Night Live. Remember this?
You put them right next to each other. Look, they even sitting like they do on the show. You two really don't know that you look like Beavis and Butthead.
That's it right there. That's the episode. Ryan Gosling. Ryan was nominated for Guest Actor in a Comedy Series. Thanks in part to this Beavis sketch. We were saying in our meeting.
Oh my gosh.
I have rarely laughed as hard at an SNL clip ever.
Yeah.
Ever. It was so good.
He's like one of the favorites that returns because I always loved the skit he would do where he's abducted by aliens.
With Kate McKinnon.
That one always would make me, because when they break, like when he breaks character and laughs, I always die laughing. But it has been a while since I've broken like that, and that was epic. Yeah.
Jeff, isn't Heidi Gardner, that's the cast member, she was it wasn't just a break,
no.
It was a flood of laughter from her.
Remember, she said she didn't see him in advance. So when she turned around the first time, that was her first time seeing him, and she was like, I knew it. Like there was no saving it.
What a brilliant move by the producers to do that, to not show them the full makeup. I would have died. How can you not laugh at that? It's great.
So good.
We have a lot more to come. Go get some more coffee and Tang. We'll be right back. We're good. Happy birthday. It's our birthday club. You know it. You love it. You get the pin, the sash, and up to $20 of free play from Grand Casino. We love them. If you're coming to visit us, go to Grand Casino, try to win some money. Well, welcome back, everybody. He's the hottest, really, the hottest actor in Hollywood right now. But you may be surprised where Glenn Powell got his start. It's reality TV. Oh. He stopped by Stephen Colbert Wednesday night. We'll watch this.
I was on Endurance, but the really sad part is I wanted to be on the show really bad, and I got kicked off on the first episode.
Wow. We have a little clip here. I would ask you to set it up, but I don't think you know what the clip is.
I don't.
I felt like I could do it for a long time, but my balance didn't think so. When I realized I was going home, it was the worst feeling.
I like this. This is your actual bio for the show. I don't know if you've looked at this since you were 13. Glenn likes making his own movies and is working to buy a professional video camera by mowing lawns and acting in commercials. He is a world traveler and is looking forward to going to a new destination and meeting new people on Endurance. He likes to tap dance and sing at nursing homes. Now that is sexy.
That's great. Endurance, by the way, aired on Discovery Kids back in the early 2000s.
I didn't have cable.
You didn't have cable?
No. When we would go to Florida for vacation, I sat in the hotel room and watched cable while my mom went to the beach. Cable was for rich people.
No, that was back in the days. Remember when hotels used to put free HBO as like a selling point? They would get a sign. It was like a big deal.
Yeah.
We have coin-operated waterbeds and HBO. Yeah. Hey, sticking with Glenn Powell, he's also doing something sweet for his parents in every movie that he does. He talked about that on the Today Show Wednesday. Watch.
But your parents were on the plaza.
Yeah.
They're also in all the movies. So did they make the cut for Twisters?
There's a great sequence midway through a rodeo sequence in the movie, and they're right behind Daisy Edgar Jones and I.
Is that with the cowboy hats on?
Yeah, you'll be able to see them here in a second. They're right behind us there. I'll find. Oh, there they are. Yeah, right there. Look at that.
So what have they been in all the movies somewhere? They've made
us in Spy Kids 3. You know, literally since Spy Kids 3. I think they've been in every single one.
He takes him everywhere. Takes him to premieres. He takes his dog. He has that rescue dog.
Oh, so cute.
Real quick, you can see her full review on the Jason Show Before the Show on our Facebook page. But you saw Twisters last night, and you really liked it.
I really liked it. I liked that Daisy Edgar Jones was the lead of it, not Glenn Powell. Like, he's definitely her co-star, but I liked that it was like more her story. I thought it was exactly what you expect for like a summer blockbuster: loud, big, funny.
Lots of twisters.
Yeah, lots of twisters, plural. You know, so
hashtag too many twisters and twisters. That's just me though. Yeah, Twisters.
Oh.
Twisters is out this week. Okay, more just for you now, and I'm getting some help from Hollywood. Audience, give it up for my buddy and the host of the Hollywood Raw podcast, Dax Holt. Hi, buddy.
Hello. Good morning, everyone.
Hi, buddy. Look, usually we laugh, but this is a more serious topic, but a newsworthy topic. You talked about celebrities that you and your co-host have been encountered that have passed. Talk to me about that.
Yeah, so this week, you know, with the news of Shannon Doherty, Richard Simmons, Dr. Ruth, Adam and I took the week to talk about our interactions with these people, our run-ins, what that was like, and how well we knew them. And, you know, obviously a little bit more of a somber episode, but nevertheless, you know, I have had some great memories with Shannon Doherty over the years. We have a lot of mutual friends, and I've had run-ins, and she was genuinely a very, very awesome person. So I got to recount how I got to know Shannon, what it was like, you know, when we would hang out, and just the stories that we had. And then honestly, Richard Simmons as well. Like, I remember being at a birthday party years ago, and it was honestly one of the last times that Richard Simmons was out in public. I happened to be at a buddy's birthday party. Richard showed up, saying my buddy happy birthday, got to interact with everyone. And so I kind of recounted that night and what it was like. And then literally a month later, gone, and hadn't seen him for 10 years. And so it was just, it was a somber episode, but nevertheless a really good one, because people like to hear these stories and what they're like in real life.
And Dr. Ruth, you know, we were saying, and I think you said, Dax, unfortunately, even though she really was revelatory in discussing sex in an adult way, her death kind of got like third headline because of Shannon and Richard, right?
Oh, yeah. I mean, obviously, you know, everyone was talking about it, but I would say those names got talked about a little bit more. But nevertheless, she was a huge part of entertainment in obviously the radio world. She made a big name for herself. She was a Holocaust survivor, and so we don't want to leave her name out of the headlines at all.
No. She taught me, unlike Falen, I had cable. She taught me all about sex. Yeah. I'd watch.
And that's what the best part about her, she was like, you shouldn't be afraid to talk about it. People should want to talk, and it's healthy, and it's all good. And I think that was the best part of her, this little old lady who wanted to talk about sex, and even if it makes you feel uncomfortable, that was the purpose.
Absolutely. I can't wait to listen to this one. Thanks, Dax. Have a good week.
Thanks, guys.
The Hollywood Raw Podcast. Subscribe wherever you get your podcasts. No joke. I learned, you know, my mom and my dad my mom is still very young. I had young parents, so they didn't make anything taboo, because their philosophy was, if we make it taboo, then Jason's going to want to go more toward it.
Right.
So they talked about everything. For heaven's sake, I saw Fatal Attraction when I was 11. I mean, you know, but nothing was off. Nothing. They talked. I knew about boobs. I know they talked about everything. But I'll never forget. I would watch, Dr. Ruth had a show on either HBO or Cinemax late at night. We had cable. I would wait till mom and dad went to bed. I scurried out of my room like a little squirrel, and then I turned the volume way down and was like this, like please tell me more. Yeah.
Oh God. You probably didn't have any knowledge of what she was talking about at all. You're like, oh, that makes sense. You had no idea.
I had no idea. No, not at all.
No, yeah.
More just for you now. It's the feud that no one had on their 2024 bingo card. Britney Spears versus Ozzy Osbourne. Yeah, I'm not kidding. So here's the deal. It all has to do with comments made by Ozzy they do a family podcast. So the fam was talking about people dancing on TikTok. And Ozzy took aim at Brit, saying he's fed up with her dance videos, mainly on Instagram. He called them nauseating and sad. Britney responded on Instagram. Yeah. There she is, girl. She responded on Instagram calling the Osbourne family the most boring family known to mankind. Telling them to bleep off. This isn't going to make me popular in some circles. I don't fully disagree. I don't want to say nauseating. That's mean. But her dancing videos, I'm sometimes like, come on, Brit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's enough. Because I feel like, I don't know. They do make me sad sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, there's obviously something still going on with Britney.
Yes.
Everyone, I think, is very aware of that, and it's heartbreaking because we all love Britney Spears very much. Well, I assume most of us do, and it can respect a great career she's had, and she's gone through it. So yeah, but also like Ozzy Osbourne, I don't need to watch an interview with you where I don't understand what you're saying at all.
Yeah.
So, like, I think you're a little sad.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
yeah. Your family causes a lot of waves. I mean,
they are pretty boring now. Sorry.
Yeah.
How long's it been since your show was on?
Oh.
Sorry.
Did Sass come with that summer dress?
I think it's you're aiming down, Ozzy. It's like sad when you do that.
Exactly.
So,
we have not made Britney sarcastic comments for a while because
most people haven't.
No.
They're intelligent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like an old Southern woman over here.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah. Next. Hey, speaking of Britney, coming up a little bit later, the host of a podcast, host, creator, everything, that deals with Britney, friendship, and a mystery. That's a little bit later, but more Dish. One of the summer's biggest reality shows returned Wednesday night, but if you watch it, you're nodding your head. You know what I'm going to say. A lot of you Big Brother fans, you are really upset about this new season. So if you're not a fan, let me explain. Besides airing on CBS, fans of Big Brother can watch the house guests of Big Brother 24/7 online on Paramount Plus. But here's where the trouble comes in. This year, fans can only watch live. No replays. In the past, people would be able to rewind the daily feeds to see what they missed. CBS did not explain the change, but let us. Because what we think is happening, what fans think is happening, is CBS doesn't want this to happen, doesn't want us to have that ability because it prevents fans from finding problematic things that the house guests say in the middle of the night. Racist stuff, homophobic stuff, hateful stuff. You guys, Google, there's been scandals basically every season. Somebody in that house inevitably will say what they really think and hope that the CBS cameras doesn't catch them.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah. Is there anything to, just because TV's newer, or to me, would it be important for them for forcing you to watch live? Would that help them with ratings or anything?
Maybe, you know, with the algorithms of
right.
if they're focusing so much on digital, perhaps, but girl, that's secondary. That is secondary. They don't want scandals, and especially now because CBS is owned by Paramount, and Paramount is being purchased. So they want a clear runway. They don't need any scandal. They don't want a scandal. They don't want to have to put out a press release because some anti-gay person is spewing in the middle of the night, or a racist person. They don't need that.
Yeah.
They want to go to the bank and get that check cashed first. Yeah, that's what it is. We're going to take a break. We'll be back right after this. Stay with us, everybody. We're always looking for a great new podcast. Coming up in just a little bit, you're going to meet the host of a podcast that mixes friendship, mystery, and Britney Spears. Just ahead. And then, we have our best things ever list, but Falen is introducing her list of unsexy products. The products you need that aren't real, well, sexy. What are they and how they can change your life when we come back. Welcome back. Oh, I couldn't wait to have this conversation. Well, I alluded to this. I alluded to this a few minutes ago. It's a powerful, critically acclaimed podcast all about friendship, unanswered questions, and Britney Spears. That's right. And you're thinking, that's a weird combo. You'll see, though. Unread. Unread is what it's called, and it's created by our guest today, Chris Stedman. It's a 4-part series where he tries to better understand his late friend Alex's life, following a trail of audio messages that Alex left behind. Before I talk to Chris, here's a little snippet of the podcast.
The first of the 2 audio files had part 2 in the file name, even though there was no sign of a part 1. Very Alex. I hit play on the second clip, the one that didn't say part 2, in case it was part 1. It wasn't. The first thing I heard was her.
My Twitter is Banana Alice, and I created it today, and
Banana Alice.
Oh my God. Banana Alice.
So that is, yeah. If you're a little confused, we will clear this up because that mysterious figure, Alice, sounds exactly like Britney Spears. And she becomes a riveting part of the podcast. Audience, give it up for the host of the podcast, Chris Stedman, everybody. First of all, before we get into exactly filling in some of the blanks, what made you want to do this? Where did this start?
Yeah, so it started obviously with a personal tragedy. In December 2019, I lost one of my closest friends, Alex. He died by suicide. And
very sorry.
Yeah, thank you. And I learned of his death via a scheduled email that he had set up to go out after he died. In it, it was a goodbye, it was an explanation, but it also included these audio files that were him talking to this internet stranger he had met named Alice. And for the life of me, I couldn't figure out why he included these files in his email. They were kind of just dropped in without any context. And I remember he had told me about this figure, Alice. He had met her in this Britney Spears fan forum. And, you know, I think he had thought maybe she could have been Britney, given that, you know...
He thought that.
He
even thought that, that Alice could be.
Given that at the time she was in the conservatorship, and so she didn't have really... she was cut off from a lot of the world, a lot of her friends, and, you know, I think he and some other fans thought that maybe she had found a way to get online to try and talk to people and find some connection. And so, you know, as I was trying to make sense of his death and what happened, these files became this kind of obsession where I was trying to figure out why he sent them to me and what they meant. And at the time, the Free Britney movement was kind of gaining traction, and I thought, you know, maybe there is something to this, this idea that Britney, at a time when she was really cut off from the world, might have sought out, you know, support online or connection that she wasn't able to get in other parts of her life. And so, along with a group of Alex's friends and family, I set about trying to see if I could find this person and figure out what this mystery was all about.
At the beginning of the mystery, and you'll take this the way that I mean it in this question, the sending of the email and then the audio files, did that surprise you? Was he quirky? You're smiling because, you know, I'm trying not to, I don't want to offend, but you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm different. I would do something, you know, fun, not fun, but I would do maybe something like that. Was this in his character profile to do something like this?
Yeah, you know, a big part of what drew me to Alex when we first met was that he was just larger than life. He was the funniest person I've ever known in my life, and you know, I am a little bit more of a serious person. I mean, I'm a professor. I teach, you know, I'm just more of a dry person. And so what I loved about Alex was he was so unapologetically loud and himself, and he made me want to be more that way. And so, you know, when he sent this email, obviously it was, you know, one of the most horrible moments of my life.
Absolutely.
But it almost felt like this kind of last gift from him of this sort of strange mystery and an opportunity to try and embrace all the things that he taught me about, you know, like I'm a skeptic, I question everything, whereas he was willing to embrace the fantasy that maybe this could have been Britney. And so it kind of felt like this way of one last opportunity to, you know, be connected to him and to kind of embrace the fantasy that he had that maybe this was Britney. So it very much felt in line with his personality to say, you know, I'm going to leave you this one last little sort of, you know, strange experience, because he really was just, and for me that was also like, you know, if anyone would have met Britney online and struck up a friendship, it would have been him.
It would have been him.
Yeah, exactly.
Because he was a big fan. You find, now look, I want you to listen to the pod. I started it, and I can't wait to finish it, but I want to jump to it. I said in the intro, you talked to Alice.
Yes.
First impressions.
Yeah, so again, I'm very skeptical by nature, and so my sort of instinct was to assume that this was just some person online who happened to sound like Britney or was trying to sound like Britney. But, you know, there were a lot of things in the conversation, which, you know, you'll hear on the podcast, that gave me pause, you know,
did it make you further skeptical? Well, or did it dot some I's for you?
I'll say this. Almost everyone I hear from who listens to the show, and as well as other people who worked on the show with me, are less skeptical than I am. So there are a lot of people who do think that that was Britney. So, you know, you have to listen and judge for yourself. I see some nods over there from people who have listened, you know.
When we played, audience, I don't know, I probably should have told the audience they would listen. When we played the soundbite, and the end when she giggles, it's the laugh that we all were like, that sounds very much like Britney.
Definitely the laugh got me too, yeah. But, and you know, I think this show is now a couple years old.
Yeah.
But there's been renewed interest in it recently because she posted on Instagram this video recently, which, don't make me defend her dance videos. Yes. But, you know, she posted this video recently where she put in the caption, what name should I call myself or something, and then she put Alice, which made a lot of people, you know, decide to go check out the show, which was, you know, very unexpected to me, so.
Hold that thought. Hold that thought. More when we come back. Back in a moment, everybody. Holy crap. Yeah. Welcome back. Great conversation. Chris Stedman's our guest. Unread is the podcast. Go do it now. Congratulations. It's made, it's a love letter of something very personal for your friend. I want to make sure I get this right. The compliment, best of list from Vulture, the Huffington Post, The Guardian, and Mashable. Congratulations, my friend.
Thank you.
That must feel good, not just when you get the critics, but the reception has been incredible.
Yeah, you know, I'm a writer, and writing is just how I try to make sense of things that don't make sense to me. And sometimes that process is just for me, and I don't share that writing. But if I publish some piece of writing, whether it's in the form of the podcast or a book or something like that, it's because I hope that it could be useful to other people in some way. And for me, when I decided that I wanted to make this series, it was really, it was not long after Alex died. I had started a GoFundMe to help raise some money to support some of the costs associated with his death, to help his family out. And I just shared online, really matter-of-factly, how he had died. I said he had died by suicide. And I heard from all these people who just said, thank you for saying how he died, because there's such a culture of silence and shame around suicide loss. And I found myself, when I was trying to make sense of his death, looking for stories, resources from other people who had been through the experience, and I just couldn't find much, again, because there's so much silence around it. And so, you know, I made this show, you know, in part because I was tantalized by this mystery of who was this Alice person, could she have been Britney, but also because I was just trying to make sense of what happened, and to find some resources for, you know, trying to navigate the experience of losing someone to suicide. And so for me, one of the most meaningful things in the last few years since the show came out has just been hearing from people who themselves have experienced suicide loss. You know, maybe they lost a sibling or a parent or a loved one, and that the show helped them through that process. You know, for me, that I made it for myself, but also I shared it with the hope that it would help people in some way. And so, you know, seeing it on a best list or something like that is nice. But for me, the real thing that I take, you know, comfort and meaning in is just knowing the show could be a resource for other people.
Absolutely. I want to. We're sadly running out of. They're sadly running out of time. I want to get two things. Chris is a writer. I want to mention the book. But can I ask you? Yeah. I'm not a very religious person, but I believe everything happens for a reason. Did you while you're researching? Did you feel his presence? If I can ask you that.
It's funny you mention religion and ask that because I teach religion.
Yeah, I know you do.
That's what I do by day.
It's not by accident.
So, you know, I love a question like this. And, you know, I think the short answer is I don't know. You know, I actually was doing an event at a university about a month after Alex died, and someone asked me if I believed in an afterlife or not, and it just was such an emotionally charged question for me at that moment because I had just lost one of the most important people to me in the whole world who just had completely changed my life in so many ways. And, you know, I said that I just don't know. You know, I wish I could say that I knew for sure, but, you know, part of why I made the show and why I was trying to find this Alice person and figure out who she was because it was a way for me to still feel connected and close to Alex. And I feel like he really lives on in that series. And, you know, that was really one thing I wanted to do was just to try to do justice to him as a person because he lived the kind of life that doesn't get memorialized. You know, he's not going to get a big newspaper obituary or something like that, but his life deserves to be remembered too and honored and cherished. And so, you know, for me, that was an important part of making that show. I talk to a lot of people. This show is as old as cheese in your refrigerator. But I've really appreciated it, and I've really enjoyed this talk. Would you do me a favor? Because TV, where it's like a traffic cop, we got to go do something else. Would you please come back so we can just exclusively talk about your book? Sure. I don't want to shortchange it if you would. Thank you. Yeah. Give it up for Chris Dedman, everybody. Unread, the podcast, is available right now wherever you get your podcasts. Go watch it and email us or Twitter, whatever it's called now. Let us know what you think, and we'll have Chris back on to talk about his book. We'll be right back, everybody. Back in a moment. I so appreciate it, Chris. Thank you. That was so great. Welcome back to the show. What a great guest. Next, if you find yourself scrolling through TikTok, it won't be long before a recommendation for a beauty product or something for your wellness pops up. No doubt you'll come across flash and luxury items, but what about the standard, we're going to call them functional things that we need every day? Well, those have been dubbed unsexy products, and today Falen is sharing her Falen's Unsexy list.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you
so much.
Thank you.
All right, this is, we'll start with the same brand here, Mega Babe. They have lots of different products, but my introduction...
Would you like me to hand model this? Thank you.
My introduction product was Thigh Rescue. Yes. I wear a ton of dresses, and I do not like for my thighs to chafe. So this is amazing. And I would wear this to Disney, and it would last all day long. And it's basically like a deodorant stick. You just rub it on your... Because people actually recommended deodorant. It did not work for me.
It does not.
This does. And I recommended it to...
Colin Matheson.
Yes, yes.
Yeah. Because obviously we're at the parks a lot.
Yep.
We sweat a lot. It's hot a lot.
Yeah.
And he won't mind me telling you we have, please, he doesn't care. I've tried it too. Boop.
Yeah.
It is a huge saver. It is really good.
Yeah. Its sister product is Dust Bust. So this is kind of like a powder.
The hell is that?
Yeah, thank you for asking. It's like, it looks like baby powder when it comes out. So you really, what I do is I lift Lucy and Rita, and I give them a...
Are those...
Lucy.
May I ask?
Yeah.
That's your boobs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Lucy, a little squirt. Rita's heavier, a little squirt.
Is Rita heavier?
Much larger, yeah. It's disturbing. And then it helps with boob sweat. It absorbs it, yeah.
Who am I? Who am I near right now? Who is?
You're by, this is Lucy.
That's right, okay.
Some days it's Mary Kate and Ashley. It depends.
It depends on the day, yeah.
Yeah, it does.
Oh, so this is under boob powder.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So it's why it's called.
It's fine. You came on a good day here.
Yeah.
That's right.
Bust dust.
Bust dust, okay.
All right. So next, we're going to move into more unsexy things. Okay, so thanks Mom and Dad, I get a lot of gray hair. I have since like an early age. So I have 2 products that I really like. So this L'Oreal Magic Root is good.
Really? Aaron Schwab, audience coordinator, really, Aaron?
Yeah.
Okay.
So Jeff and Aaron said they like it. My only issue with this is it does leave a little bit of a texture in my hair that I don't like. So something I've tried recently is spraying it on like a sturdier makeup brush and applying it like that. And then it covers up those spots without it direct spraying on my head.
So it's hair paint?
Yes, it really is. It's Magic Root cover-up. So like for the in-between visits to your salon for your hair, you know?
Really?
When my gray is coming in, which is also a similar product that I use.
Look at this video. Is this
yeah,
from
here
the
we go.
Good People?
Yeah.
Oh, watch. Let's check her out.
Yeah. It really does do this.
Hello, Roots?
It's like spray paint.
Goodbye, Roots. Look at that.
Yeah. It does work like that.
It's like a home improvement show. Look at that. Before and after.
One that leaves less of a texture, but like if you like scratched your head, you'd get a little bit of the color on your nails possibly. This Wow cover-up, it's a brush. It's kind of like a makeup, and you go in. It's almost like a blush brush.
Okay.
Rub it on, and then you go into the root also. And I like that one for like a light, quick touch-up before, I don't know.
Did you say executive producer Jeff endorses this one? Really? I didn't know that.
He said for his bald spot.
Because there's a guy, well, we're going to do another list of these. I have another for guys for beards. I did it like earlier in the season, the Just for Men beard wand. Yeah, that's fantastic.
Last but not least, this you could use any brand. I grabbed this one at Target. This is called Plum Beauty, and this is for when the whiskers get a little dark on the ends of my mustache here. I pop her on.
Oh my, is it on?
Let's not pretend women don't get a little facial hair here and there, and I'll just give it a little.
Leo, can we get a close-up of it? There we go.
Little trim. Just usually on the old mustache.
Wait. Can you do that one more time so we can put that in the new show open? There we go. That's going to be on our opening sequence next year.
Yeah. Those are my...
Let's make it a good day. I can see it in the open.
Well, you know, it would make sense for you to like be doing like a straight razor, and then it goes to me trimming my mustache as well. Yeah. So
all economical, right? None of this is going to break the bank.
No, these are this one's probably the most expensive, but that's why I have this like cheaper version, the L'Oreal. I think this was like 15. These are like 14. This might be 20, 25.
If you have something that you would like us to try on our unsexy list, go ahead and drop us a line on our socials, Jason Show TV. We'll be right back. Back after this. That's great. I didn't know about that. Holly from Cannon Falls, Minnesota is our next JVIP. She loves our topics and digs the way we keep the audiences engaged. Thank you, sweetie. We appreciate you, Holly. Holly gets a chance to win the monthly grand prize. That includes a $150 gift card to Becker Furniture and a $250 gift certificate to Renew Med Spa. We were talking with the audience. You can get the majority of those products at?
Target.
Yeah. There we go. Yeah. We'll be right back. Back in a moment. Don't forget, you can get the items Falen talked about on Amazon and Target. Amazon and Target. Pat, may I see that? Thank you, love. So I mentioned our guest, Chris Stedman, had a book. The book is called Finding Our Real Selves in a Digital World. We'll have him back on to talk about the book again. Finding Ourselves in a Digital World, Chris Stedman. Okay, now... I always joke that if we can't do birthday shout-outs for everybody because this would turn into romper room. But hi to Stephanie and hi to Becky. But we do have, you've heard me mention her before, an executive producer in our building. Lori Fisher has been my friend, Jeff and I's friend since we started in 2000. Her mother is in the audience, and it's her birthday today. Come on in, Lori. Lori. in honor of her mother, brought cookies for our entire audience. There we go. There we go. We'll get out of the way here. There we go. Look at that.
So sweet.
We love you. Happy birthday. Now, let me just say, don't expect that for everybody that comes. We don't have enough cookies. Hey, speaking of food, though, tomorrow, foodie queen Stephanie Hansen is back with the perfect summer treats, including homemade, no-bake ice cream and ice cream sandwiches. That's tomorrow. But right now, that's going to do it for us. If you're watching and you're a kid that's being bullied, go out there and be yourself, because nobody can tell you you're doing it wrong. Have a great day. We appreciate you. We'll see you tomorrow. Finding ourselves in a digital world.